morning to Dakota Preparedness. Today we're going to do a straight up gear review with the kilowatt meter. Now you might ask, why would I do a full video on the kilowatt meter? Actually, it's a vital piece of equipment that can provide you some very helpful information as you do planning for emergency backup electrical power. Now there's a full spectrum of generators, their weight, their size, their output, and their cost. But virtually in all situations, you want to have a good understanding of how much draw or load each device is pulling. Now you'll find for an iPhone or a computer, a small fan, it's pretty immaterial. But when you move to an electric heater, a hair dryer, a hot plate, a refrigerator, air conditioner, this kilowatt meter is very helpful to let you know what the load is. Now, in particular, my interest was supporting a refrigerator in an emergency power outage. And what my study there using the kilowatt meter illustrated was you naturally have to unplug the refrigerator, plug in the kilowatt meter, and then plug in the refrigerator. So just before you do that, the refrigerator's at a total stop. And it will have what's called surge demand, which on my refrigerator was about 350 watts. And then once the condenser is restarted, it drops down to pretty much a steady state of about 100 watts. And so for planning purposes, that's what I use rather than the momentary surge. But you do have to take the surge in consideration with the smaller generators. So let's go to Amazon and look at what's available there.
You can see that with my screen recorder that I've come to the Amazon splash page and I typed into the search engine kilowatt meter. So let's click that. Let's cursor down. And this is the model that I utilize. It's the P3P4400 kilowatt. It currently sells for $29.48. And it has a lot of reviews, 9,414, and it's 4.5 stars. Now, so it's clearly available on Amazon. I believe I obtained my actual unit at Home Depot. And if we cursor down, you can see they have some more modern units. Here's a P3 International. There's the further to the right of that unit, there's another P3 International P4400 VP. And then if we look further, we'll see there's a P3 Flex Plug, there's a P3 Power Kilowatt for $39, and finally on the far right, a unit for P3 P4460 that is $34. But once again, cursing up, the one that I've utilized for years is this model here, the P3 P4400 kilowatt unit for $29.48.
Let's now go and do a hands-on test using a Honeywell space heater and also a second product. So we'll take the kilowatt measuring device and simply clip it into the wall, and then we'll take, and you can notice that kilowatt hours is 0, the hertz is 59.9, so approximating 60 megahertz, watts are 0, amp is 0, and the voltage is 119.6, approximating 120. Now we're going to take the heater cord and plug it in. And heaters are notorious for using a lot of energy. And you can hear the whine of the heater going. And now under the kilowatt hours, I guess it's going to accumulate it for us. So right now it's a 1/100th of a kilowatt hour. We click the hertz, and that's still the, as we would expect, the 59.9. Wattage is it's pulling 684 watts. So if I at 685. So if we left it here for an hour, it would use 684 watt hours. The amps are 5.86, so approximating 6, and the voltage is 116.9, so still approximating 115 or 120. So we're going to demonstrate the kilowatt meter with another device, a common hair dryer, which also are notorious for pulling a lot of wattage. So we're going to turn the hair dryer on. The accumulated kilowatt hours is 0. The hertz is 59.9, what we'd expect. And the wattage, the load is, as I mentioned, they're notorious for pulling a significant load, is 319 watts. The amp is only 2.67. And the wattage, as to be expected, is 119.1. The critical item here is the watts pulling. You'll use this number to divide into like a solar generator's total capacity to find out how many hours it will last without using all of the battery capacity up. In concluding remarks, I'll state to you that the kilowatt meter is invaluable in figuring out the capacity demand of each one of your appliances. Now, the reason why I've selected to do the kilowatt gear review is in the near future I will be providing a video on a solar generator. And solar generators have been around for at least 10 years. I had one of the early Yeti Zero solar generators, and it was excellent. I love that device for camping. And it lasted about 8 years, and then I replaced it a second time and also got a second one. So I had 2 small Yeti Zeros. But in the last few years, the solar generators have really come into vogue. They've made a lot of progress in their technology, and so about 6 months ago I bought a Blue Yeti AC180, and I'll be showing you that in the near future. Be prepared.